All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. Had a fight whole bunch of good fight cards a bunch of good fights last night. The major one that took place for me was Vasyl Lomachenko versus Ortiz. And after the fight was over, Devin Haney gets in the ring with Vasyl Lomachenko, and they talk about fighting. And Vasyl Lomachenko says something, makes an observation that's funny, and Devin Haney makes some statements that were funny. Really interesting exchange that took place in the ring. Let's talk about that and what that means for the potential fight between the two of them. Let's do that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to talk about the fight that just took place last night between Vasyl Lomachenko and Ortiz, and the aftermath between Vasyl Lomachenko and Devin Haney, where Lomachenko points out that Devin Haney looks like a heavyweight, and Devin Haney says something that I think is going over a lot of people's heads, but was really interesting at the same time about Vasyl Lomachenko needing to make sacrifices in order to fight him. Now, before I get into that, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos, which we do on a daily basis. And if you are a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much. This particular video is going to be dedicated to Jeff Campbell, one of the most pure Terrence Crawford and Devin Haney fans out there. I know we going back and forth pretty much every day in the comment section, but definitely appreciate your support and your input into the channel. All right, so let's get into this. Vasyl Lomachenko fought Jermaine Ortiz in a bout that I thought was a very, very good fight. Back and forth fight, very close fight. I think it was closer than the scorecards indicated. There was one scorecard that was like 117, 111. I think one was like 115, 113, and the other one was really close. I think the one outlier scorecard, the 117, 111, thought that for Vasyl Lomachenko, I thought that was a little ridiculous. However, I think the fight could have went to Jermaine, or it could have, depending on what you're looking at, it could have went to Jermaine. Ortiz could have went to Vasyl Lomachenko by close, could have been a draw. At the end of it, though, before they announced it, I already knew what was going to go on. Vasyl Lomachenko was going to win that fight. Vasyl Lomachenko was the big draw. He basically swept the last, fourth of the fight. And there could have been a couple rounds in the beginning that where Jermaine Ortiz got, several rounds in the beginning. But there was a round or two in there in the first six that I think that Vasyl Lomachenko probably did get. That in the last three gets you to 5. So all you need is one more for a draw and 2 more for a win. And you know full well that there are people that are anticipating what Lomachenko is going to do. Also, I think people that said that, Lomachenko was really, really beating him easy may have underestimated Vasyl Lomachenko's defense in the first part of the fight, which I thought was very good, man. He was slipping a lot of shots from Jermaine Ortiz in the first half of that fight. But regardless, Lomachenko wins the fight. Some people think Ortiz won the fight. I wouldn't call it a robbery, but I do think that 117, 111 scorecard was a little wide. However, the big story of it was, besides the good fight that took place, because I really did enjoy the fight, very excellent fighters, was what went on with Devin Haney and Lomachenko in the ring afterwards. Lomachenko immediately looks at Devin Haney, is like, this is a lightweight? You look like a heavyweight, right? Which is telling you what, man, dude, basically saying, man, you are basically calling him out on being a weight bully and saying, man, what are you even doing at this weight class, man? This is ridiculous, right? But hey, man, that's not Devin Haney's fault. That's the rule of boxing's fault. If you don't want people, if boxing was concerned about that, they wouldn't have same-day weigh-ins. They would have same-day weigh-ins where people can't do that. If you had same-day weigh-ins, Lomachenko very well may have never fought at 126 pounds. You know what I mean? He may have had to start at 130 with same-day weigh-ins. He used to skinny down at his first weight class a lot as well. So whatever, you take that with a grain of salt. And honestly, he's not that much bigger than Jermaine Ortiz is. Now, the funny thing that I thought was said was Devin Haney. This is a case of be careful when the rabbit gets the gun. Right. He said, now, am I talking about, is he going to fight him? He said, we'll see when we get to negotiation table. You know, boxing is a business. I made sacrifices to get these belts. These guys are going to have to make sacrifices to fight me. Yeah. OK, here we go, man. Here we go. What kind of sacrifices are you talking about? The lion's share of the money you're going to make this guy not get paid for the fight. He's going to have to take pennies on the dollar to fight you. He's going to have to fight. What's he going to do? He's going to have to sign, he's going to have to give you a rematch, give you a double rematch clause. He doesn't get a rematch. Whatever happens, dude, I am pretty sure Vasyl Lomachenko is going to take it because you're going to be negotiating with Bob Arum and it's going to be what it is. But I just thought that was a very, very interesting thing to say. Instead of saying, yeah, I want the fight. Yeah, we can do this next, to let him know that it's a business and it depends on how much money and how much control I have over the fight on whether or not I fight you. Now, but again, that is his prerogative. Some people are going to point to the fact that Lomachenko didn't fight him earlier as a reason to say, hey, Devin's just doing what other people did to him. Fine and dandy, doesn't make me any difference. Personally, I think the fight's going to happen regardless. Any way you cut it, because I really don't see where else Devin's going to go other than drop his belts and go to 140 pounds, which is definitely not an easy route for him up there at 140, or he's going to have to fight Shakur Stevenson. And in that case, Shakur Stevenson is going to take what Shakur Stevenson can take, and then Devin Haney's going to have a much greater chance of losing. Now, as far as what the fight looks like between him and Vasyl Lomachenko, after last night, a lot of people will reasonably think, hey, look, man, Devin Haney should be a big favorite in this because of the way that Jermaine Ortiz fought Vasyl Lomachenko. And I would say that sounds about right to me. One thing that I would say, though, and a point that I'll probably bring up in the live streams and bring up after this, is that I think Lomachenko did a very good job of selecting his opponent for this fight. Because when I was watching the fight, I thought to myself, this is going to be a lot like what he's going to have to deal with Devin Haney, an athletic fighter with fast hands that's bigger than him, not a big puncher, right? But somebody that can run off combinations, they can slip your shots, give you a lot of different looks, right? Jermaine Ortiz is a good fighter. And when you're preparing to fight other fighters, I think it is good for you to fight somebody that is very similar to the guy that you know you're going to fight next. And it seems to me that Vasyl Lomachenko picked him to have to deal with that coming off of a year-long layoff. And knowing that when he wins this fight, that his next fight was going to be against a guy that has a somewhat similar style. And now, of course, well, I'm not even going to say of course, because I don't know what level of fighter the technician Jermaine Ortiz is. He beat what's the guy's name? Jamel Herring beat Jamel Herring convincingly. I think he had one majority decision for an 8-round fight against Salas. But, he's a very, very good fighter. He may be somebody out there who's like a Michelle Rivera or somebody like that level of fighter that is, a lot better than you think because his name has not really been out there. So it seems to me like Vasyl Lomachenko made sure he took a upper level amount of competition going into this fight, which is probably very, very smart. The guy was also really big. He wasn't just athletic. He was also very big, Jermaine Taylor, so much so and strong that he could bump off Lomachenko and send him to the other side of the ring. But again, I would definitely favor Devin Haney in the fight coming up because he's probably, I suspect he's a better fighter than Jermaine Taylor is, than Jermaine Ortiz is, but we'll see. You let me know what you think in the comment section, and with that, I'm out. Peace.